What's the right price to set for your shares? This is a pretty important question. It's not a critical question. It's really more of a marketing question than anything else. It's not a legal thing. It's not really that much of a determining factor, but there is a little bit of psychology to it that is worth examining. So here's how this works. Typically, all price shares at $25,000 a piece. Why? Because $25,000 is a number that's kind of a nice round number. There's 4 of them in 100. It just kind of flows easily. Very simple. There's some people think they should be priced at $1,000 a piece. That's okay too. But then somebody could say, well, I want to buy less. I want to buy, I don't want to buy 25,000. I want to buy 18,000 or 14,000. Here's how this typically works. In the operating agreement, you specify that you can buy, the shares are $25,000 a piece, minimum purchase 2 shares. So in other words, each person has to put in my case, 50 grand per investor. Now they can put in more. We also set an upper limit. So they can put up to $1 million. And the reason that you set an upper limit is that you don't want one investor to control the whole deal, and that creates all kinds of voting and other kinds of issues. Now, the promoter, usually if it's properly built into the operating agreement, and again, this is why it's so important to have really good tools in your operating agreement, is the promoter can say, we can take a fractional share, we'll sell less than the minimum, we'll do what we want. So if somebody comes to you and says, well, there are $25,000 a share, but I have $85,000, so that would be 3 shares, I'll give you 75 and I'll just keep 10. You can say, no, I'll take the whole 85, I'll sell you 3 full shares and 40% of another share. And all that is a bookkeeping entry. It's very simple. There's nothing complex about it, so it's no problem for you to do that. But you don't want to put that kind of material into your documents because then people will start asking for favors. They'll start, they might go to 100, but they'll say, they only want to put in 85. It's a better way to go to have them do it in these round increments. It's a really nice, easy way to do it. Now, there's some people that say, I want to price my shares at 100 or 250 because that'll force people up. And you know what? It might, if you're dealing with larger guys, it might actually do that when you say a minimum share is 250 and a guy comes to you with 200. That might make the person feel like they're playing with bigger boys and they need to come in with a few more dollars. So you might inch somebody up a little bit by doing it that way. There's also a little bit of body language that when you price your shares at a higher number, that you're not attracting a crowd of smaller people. So you really have to think through what works for you. Again, there's no magic. It's really a psychology thing. It's a marketing thing. And you have to really think about what the best pricing strategy is going to be for you. At the end of the day, though, your goal is going to be to raise a certain number of dollars. And how you bring those dollars in is entirely up to you. You can do it by pricing your shares. You can do it by adjusting the preferred. You can have a split preferred, which means that some people who put in more get a higher preferred. Some people who put in less get a lower preferred. You can do this in a lot of different ways. You just have to be creative. You have to think carefully through it. And at the end of the day, the only goal is about raising the money. So this is a great business. Now go out and stake your claim.